We've used phrases like, now's the time, stop gun violence, enough is enough. Well, folks, enough is enough. You know that. The day after this horrific slaughter in Orlando, you started a We the People petition to ban AR-15 type weapons from civilian ownership, and nearly 200,000 people signed up in less than 3 days. Senators held the floor on the United States Senate for more than 15 hours, demanding cooperation from the Republicans to allow a vote on common sense gun safety measures. Finish this. Please help us finish this.
Vice President Biden pushing for gun action just 1 week after the worst mass shooting in American history and a nearly 15-hour Democratic filibuster demanding Senate action. Republican leaders are finally allowing a series of votes today on gun laws, but our experts say don't expect dramatic results. NBC's Luke Russert and Hallie Jackson now from the Hill. Luke, first to you, what are you expecting when this comes up for a vote?
Well, all four amendments will go down, Andrea, and that's because they're sort of rehashed versions of things that have already gone down on the Senate floor. The old Manchin Toomey proposal that will be introduced by Chris Murphy, which would effectively close the gun show loophole, have more strict controls over internet gun sales. The Feinstein Amendment, which would ban those from being on the terrorist watch list from getting guns. The Cornyn Amendment, which is a version of Feinstein, but instead of having an indefinite ban for those on the watch list, there would be a judicial review component that would force those to have a 72-hour review period. The DOJ would have to make the case that they should not be able to get a weapon. And then lastly, something that Chuck Grassley's put forward regarding mental health and putting more money in the instant background check system, but a lot of gun control advocates say actually hurts it. So all four will go down. The thing to look at, though, is where do those vulnerable blue and purple state Republicans who are up for election in 2016 go? And is there any compromise that can come out of this? There are reports that we can confirm that Susan Collins of Maine has been working with some like-minded, moderate Republicans and Democrats about trying to put something forward that would take the best of the Cornyn proposal and the best of Feinstein to try and put something forward there and make it work, Andrea.
And Hallie Jackson, these vulnerable Republicans are also getting mixed messages from the top of the ticket. You have Donald Trump saying, well, I'm going to work with the NRA, but then he goes off on a tangent and says we should have armed everybody, or the people, you were there, the people in the nightclub, and then clarifies it today, showing this tweet saying he, of course, meant law enforcement, which is not the way you and everyone else in that arena interpreted it.
Right. A couple of ways that he has put some daylight between where he is and where the NRA appears to be on some of these positions. First, you had last week his apparent potential openness to looking at restrictions on the no-fly, no-buy list, or maybe supporting a similar proposal, which obviously the NRA opposes. And then there was that moment this weekend where at a couple of rallies he talked about if more of the quote, wonderful people, as he put it when he was outside Houston on Friday night, had guns, then perhaps the shooter would have been stopped. After he came under criticism from Wayne LaPierre of the NRA this weekend about that, this idea that arming club goers, patrons who are going to a club late at night where there is alcohol, is defying, as LaPierre put it, common sense. Trump today tried to walk that back. He said obviously he was referring to armed guards or employees. I will tell you that was not clear, or at least was not specified during his remarks over the weekend. So with Trump, the issue of gun control is something where he is potentially splitting with members of his party about this.
Hallie Jackson and Luke Russert, the team on the Hill today. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
That does it for us for this edition of Andrea Mitchell Reports. Remember,